Hey, it's me, Matt, from Hidden Machine. Of course, you're on the Hidden Machine Annex. It's been a while since I've done an update video, so I'm going to try to do one right now. I've actually done several that I didn't put out because they were just so long and rambling and difficult to listen to. I got too much going on. Now, I'll look it up right now. When was it? Well, let's check hiddenmachinegaming.com. I put a state of the... shut up, me. I put a state of the channel address video out on March 18th, 2025. March, April, May, June. So we're not quite at the 3-month mark yet. But I think that's the last time I did an update. And in that video, I should link to our second channel in these videos. It's more work. Anyway, did I do an update on the other channel? No, it's been a minute. The other update previous to that, whoa, hey, was March 1st. Okay, so I did updates in March. Now, one thing about these update videos is I'm always trying different cameras. So this is a camera that I got for my band. It's a vlogging camera. As you can see, I got this goofy ass little mic. I've also got cat hair all over my shirt right now. I was holding my cat. He's shedding big time right now. I'm wearing yesterday's clothes. I'm in a big t-shirt covered in holes and sweatpants. I'm kind of in, you know, scumbag mode, basically, as I continue to push through. Now, what I said in that big update video from March 18th was that I just got a lot going on, and it's going to be a minute before I can really put the focus I want to, again, into the channel. But what has been happening? Have I been doing anything, or have I just been fucking around? Well, one thing I'm very grateful to say is that no one has dropped off the Patreon. People are continuing to support. That's much appreciated. Now, I have also still, even since I put out the update, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I've put out 7 videos since then. It's not like the content's stopping, but I'm not getting done the stuff I want to be getting done for the channel. And a big part of that is this album I've been doing for my band, Austin and the In-Laws. I play drums. I'm one of the songwriters in the band, along with my brother-in-law, Austin. And yeah, we've been I don't know, I think we recorded it in 2023, and then last year we did a successful Kickstarter campaign to get the album pressed on vinyl, because I don't know, it was a goal we set. And we're accomplishing it, but it's so much more work. And maybe it was just something I said and Austin went along with it. I don't know. But so one thing that we decided to try to do with the album was a songbook, which we recently got in the mail. So this is the album, Songs of Yearning, for voice and guitar. And this was something that I had to make from scratch. I'm going to try to show it here. Here's a little forward, here, a little explanation of how the songbook works. And then here is one of the songs. And you can see it's got the lyrics and the chords and for each song, along with some notes from us. And that's kind of like been a big thing lately, is just all these little pieces. We've been trying to fulfill all these obligations. Now, this was something that, I don't know how much this is going to show up here, but like these little chord diagrams, I had to make those from scratch. You'd think that was just like a thing that you could just get, you know, from the internet. Not in high resolution, which is crazy to me. There's a little photo of us at the end. This is very funny to me. I'm holding a violin. I don't play violin. I think that shit's hilarious. So, you know, there's all these kind of like physical hallmarks of this process getting closer and closer to the end. Another thing we got recently was these lighters. I don't know if this will focus. I'm not really sure how the focus works in this camera. Let me see. Can I? There we go. And yes, of course, this is a little bit of a masturbation joke. So, and, you know, you can light your fire, and it's a bottle opener. We got some merch. This was not a Kickstarter thing. This is just like, we need some merch for shows. We thought this might work. We'll see. Oh yeah, and so this camera as well. So this camera has something on it that I think is kind of interesting, which is this face tracking. It's a little weird. I shot my review for Tainted Grail. I actually shot my voiceover on this camera, and it looked too weird. So I'm trying some other settings. I don't intend to use this camera for the channel, really. I'm just trying to get more familiar with its settings and everything, and how it works, because we got this mostly for recording shows. We want to, when we go out and play live shows, we want to do really nice audio video presentation. And one thing that's been very difficult is getting really nice, smooth looking video. And so this camera has, you know, as you can see, has this like really nice built-in gimbal that's doing all this work, you know, to keep the shot looking pretty damn smooth. Now, if I can turn this around, I can show you right here. Oh, where is it? Hold on. Oh, there it is. Jesus Christ. Hold on, it's coming. Might be better if I turn on a light. We got this mixer. So this mixer is a standard mixing board. Okay, it's you've seen it before. It's nothing that crazy, but it records multi-track to an SD card, meaning each one of these channels, you know, vocal 1, vocal 2, kick drum, snare, guitar, bass, room mic, each one goes to an individual channel and then gets recorded onto a SD card, and then I can then mix that and master it and make recordings of the band that sound really, really, really nice, in my opinion. I don't know how many times you've seen like a video someone shot of a band and the audio is just bunk, you know? It's one of my biggest pet peeves when someone posts like a cell phone video where it's all like just blasted out. Do I even need to say cell phone? Phone video. Phone video. Yeah, anyway. So we're trying this out. I'm also trying to get more familiar with this mic. This is a, This is the mic that came with this thing. And it's just a little wireless mic. I'm tapping it right now. I'm not sure how it sounds. I'm really not sure if I like it. Obviously, I prefer using some of my nicer mics. You know, you can see one right here. Oh, God. But I'm trying to get used to, you know, understanding how this works. We shot like a little show promo with this thing. The whole idea is that we can have someone who's not an experienced camera operator hold this camera and they can move it around and it will look pretty damn good. And this thing shoots nice 4K, 60 frames per second. It can shoot in log, you know, so you can do color correcting later. That's pretty nice. So This was about $1,000, which makes me sick, but, you know, we'll just take the earnings from the next couple shows and put it back into it. You know, we financed this thing. Here's an update. I don't know if I've shown this before. We got some nice new big mugs. Really big mugs. There's this one with lambs on it and one with little baby chicks. I do a nice big pour over with four scoops of coffee. So, Saturday, June 21st, the album comes out. That is, I think, 15 days away or something. It's not very far from now. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 days away. Okay, that's even better. We don't have the records yet. The records were supposed to arrive last week. No update from the pressing plant. And I go, well, they told us the date. And then what they do is they print the records, you know, and then they overnight the records to us. So they'll come the next day. So I hit him up and go, what's up with the records, man? I said it nicely. I said, where the fuck are my records? You little twerp. And he said, oh, I'm sorry, sir. They were actually we're about a week behind schedule. But your records will hit the press early next week. Once they are done, they will ship to you the next day, and FedEx will automatically email you the tracking number so you can keep an eye out for delivery. Okay. My God, I fucking hope so, because I don't do like a ton of physical media stuff. You know, I've done records for other people. Like I've pitched in, or I've helped design jackets or labels, or you know, I've been part of the process. I've also, you know, myself, I've produced CDs and cassettes, shirts, pins, lighters, you know. But a lot of that is not anywhere nearly as intense as producing a vinyl album, which is still, I can't believe how much work it is, and we are not doing it again. We are looking at fulfillment services. I don't think we'll ever do this again. I understand why it's so beneficial to have the backing of a small publisher for these sorts of things. I think I'd have an easier time pressing a video game than I would a record, which is the other thing. So one of the other big things that's kind of drawing me away from the channel is I'm trying to make a video game, and I'm not putting as much work into it as I want because I'm doing all this, and it's kind of bugging me out that I can't work on it more. But when I made that video, I think was when I had applied for a grant. Now, it's a small grant. It's a small state-funded grant. Just a few $1,000s. And the terms of the grant would be I have to, within a set period of time, turn in a version of the game and have it playable and do some kind of like public event where it's shown off, which I feel totally confident doing. I've decided I'll be doing a sort of like introductory chapter to the game I want to make. So I've kind of been like finding a way to save progress will not carry over. It's not gonna be that kind of thing. It will be like a truncated introduction, because when the full game drops, I have bigger plans. So it is a point-and-click adventure game. It is a dark psychological thriller. It is a mystery. It is combining all of my special interests, which, you know, I don't know how much it comes across on the channel, but I'm into some very dark shit. Maybe that's me processing trauma. Who knows? You know, I don't watch like gore videos and stuff. I'm not that kind of guy. But I do like kind of lifting the rock and peeking at the sort of disgusting underbelly of society when I can. So the grant, I feel pretty good about it, but the grant process is slow, and there's no like deadline for when the people putting together the grant have to get back to me. So they're still reviewing all of the applications, and then as soon as they make a decision, they'll get back to me. And I do, like, I feel pretty positive about it. And so I've explained this elsewhere, I think, but just to reiterate, I'm making the game either way. But if I get the grant, I will have a strict deadline on what I have to deliver when, which is always something that when I have an external force pushing me, it does make me work better and harder, even if I get stressed out in the meantime a little bit by it sometimes. Not always. Sometimes I can work on a deadline, no stress. But sometimes having those external factors actually can be a boon. So we'll see. Now, the other big thing that's keeping me from going whole hog into game development, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because it always sounds so foolish, but I am someone who really does, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm pretty good at follow through most of the time. And if I ever have not followed through on something I said I was going to do, it's usually for good reason. It's usually because I went all the way I could down a path, and then I hit a roadblock that I could not get around. Either, just because it's like impossible for me, or because I don't have the time or resources or whatever. So, I don't mean to say this lightly, but I have 4 games in my mind. One is a sort of a project that Austin pitched to me that I like a lot, that I feel confident that I understand how it would work. One is a kind of a joke game that I'm just working on in my free time. I'm not taking it very seriously. And then I have 2 very serious games. One is this point and click adventure. Another game, I don't know. I don't know what it will be. I've really gone back and forth. I think what I want it to be is something that mixes side-scrolling or top-down view, like in an NES style, basically, with point and click. So basically, when you're, it switches from third to first person depending on the context. And I've prototyped this, and it's just not quite there yet. The story, I have the story. I feel comfortable sharing this because the story, I don't want to share too much about the stories of these games, but I think what I can say comfortably is that this is a game about perception. And the main sort of mechanic is that it's sort of an RPG. And as you gain experience points, it alters your perception. And you can see things that you couldn't see before. That's a very basic way of putting it. And hopefully that sounds exciting. So, those are the 4 projects I really want to get done. And I think those will take years to do, for sure. I mean, this is like me entering the next phase of my life, is what I'm saying. And I'll still do Hidden Machine stuff on the side, because I love video games and talking about games and talking about art and stuff. But I can't do it just yet. Because, 1, I gotta finish this fucking album. And then 2, I have some other albums I have to finish. Now, these other ones are not nearly as time consuming or anything. And so I have one album. It's a 6-song EP. I think we're going to trim it down to 5. Release the 6th song as a standalone single. But it's a record I made with my friend Dust. It's a hip hop, kind of experimental electronic hip hop record. Called Bioremediation. That's what we decided for the title. And that we just finalized the final mixes. My wife is going to make some cover art for it, and we're going to put that out in July. And we have another record, a comedy record, that we are so close to finishing. I've really just put it on the back burner. We have the cover art already. We have, I think, like 80% of the songs mixed and mastered, ready to go. There's just like 2 or 3 tracks that like have been escaping me. I haven't had the time to finish them. But once I get those projects done, I'm feeling pretty fucking good about going forward and focusing almost entirely on game development. It's just that the game dev stuff will be largely solo endeavors. I don't really intend to bring anyone into those processes until I need to. Like, I'll do everything with placeholder graphics, and if I need to hire an artist, I'll hire an artist, you know, because I'm doing a lot of 2D stuff. I don't plan on working in 3D. I kind of think like a good indie 3D game is hard to come by. Less so every year. But I also have worked in 3D. I've worked in Blender. I've worked in Unity and Unreal. And it's so fucking confusing. I'm too dumb to make a solo game that way. And I don't want to work with someone else. I'm too much of a control freak. So I do think there's plenty of ways to do 2D or to do 2.5D or something that's like not as intensive of a process and can still be very effective. You know, I can think of tons of games I love that are 2D. So to me, it's not like too much of a compromise or anything, because I honestly, like, I don't care. 2D, 3D, it doesn't matter. I remember when if a game wasn't 3D, it was shit. That was 40 years ago, you know? So, was it 40 years ago? Yeah, almost. Mid-90s, basically, you know? Not quite 40 years ago, but almost. We're getting there. We really are getting there. It'll be like 35 years ago soon. So, I'm kind of just visualizing, you know, I do a lot of like, I don't want to say manifesting, but I do a lot of setting my intention. I think about what I want to get out of a situation, or what I want to accomplish, or what I want to see or feel, or what I want to give, or what I want to receive. And I kind of just like try to set my intention to work toward that goal. And it feels really good. But I am also, you know, very busy still. Pretty much every day I'm either resting or working all day. Here's my current to-do list. Just to give you an idea, this is the to-do list I made yesterday. And you can see some stuff was striked out in red. I did a few of these things. I'm not sure if I did any more of these. Let's just check. I had to cancel my subscription to Universe. So Red Giant Universe is the plugin suite that I use. So I was having issues with my PC. I don't know what I did, but at some point, like I was just getting crashes. My browser was crashing constantly. I may have installed a sketchy plugin, like a browser plugin. Trying to think of what it was. No, I don't think that was sketchy. I've been using JDownloader to get. There's been like age restricted videos and stuff on YouTube. Like, it's so weird. Like, you know, like a trailer for an M-rated game might be age restricted on YouTube, which it makes sense. But then you need to be logged in to download it. And the way these, you know, if you use like a video downloader service for YouTube. Because I use all these videos in my clips, you know, clips in my videos for Hidden Machine. It needs to like authenticate that there's a user authorized to view this video before I can pull the video down and download it. And like I needed to install a thing that like read my, I could like take my cookies from my session and put it in JDownloader, and I don't know. I don't think that was it, but that's around the time my browser started crashing, and then I started getting Windows crashes. Now, I was doing some other stuff on here, like, oh, I don't have it anymore. But I was like pulling old video files and trying to like install like codec packs and stuff, and I don't know. I was just fucking around with so much stuff that wasn't necessarily compatible with Windows 11. And I think somewhere I did something weird. I don't know what exactly, but I remember being like, you know, usually if I try a program and it doesn't work, I try to uninstall it and then clean my registry and make sure I like remove all traces of it. I fucked up somewhere because I was just getting crashes. I was getting crashes on all my browsers. That's the other reason why I wasn't... I thought it may have been a browser extension that I downloaded, but it wasn't because all my browsers were crashing. So anyway, I don't know. And also I had like a fucking... I tried to do with the virtual PC thing to like connect to my VR headset and play like Steam games in VR on my Oculus, and that was also like acting really weird. There's a few other things. I don't know. I'm trying to like retroactively troubleshoot when eventually I just got to do a fresh install. So I kept my files, did a fresh Windows install. Had to reinstall Vegas, which is what I do my editing in. I use Vegas Pro 22, and I use Red Giant Universe plugins. This is like, that's just a plugin suite that gives you all sorts of visual effects. I use it constantly. I'm so thirsty. Well, I don't know how, but when I did the fresh install, reinstalled, the Universe stuff would not show up in Vegas. I've been using it all year. I upgraded to Vegas. I went from Vegas 20 to 22 in January of this year. So I contact Maxon, the people that do Universe, and they go, oh, we've never been compatible with Vegas 22. I go, well, I've been using it all year. Like, what gives? And they just send me a link to their page that says, this is not compatible with Vegas 22. I go, I get that your documentation says it's not compatible, but I was using it with Vegas 22. Even if it's not compatible, like, I was using it. Can I even if it's not compatible, I'm just not allowed to anymore with a fresh install? They're not even answering me, really. So my subscription to that is $200 a year. I had to cancel it, which is good because I'm also broke as hell right now. So that was one thing. I gotta check my tax info. So I have I use Intuit, QuickBooks, Self-Employed, and I can kind of categorize what are my business expenses versus personal expenses, and so it helps when I'm doing my taxes at the end of the year. I have to schedule posts, edit some videos, update merch store, flyer for a gig, did it. Flyer for a gig, did it. Newsletter for the band, got to check that out. I did an interview with Ed Logg, who is the creator of Gauntlet, Asteroids. He worked on Centipede. He worked on the San Francisco Rush ports, the home console ports, Rush 2049. I had a great hour-long interview with him. I'm doing a video about his career. It's kind of a, not quite a collaboration with, but it was a collaboration to a degree, but I just wanted to sound like a sponsorship. But the whole project was sparked by Jordan over at Zoom Platform, which is a DRM-free video game store online. They do some really great work, and he and I have been chatting for a couple years now, and he was like, hey, I could put you in touch with Ed Logg if you'd be interested in chatting with him. I said, yes, thank you. So big shout out to Jordan and Zoom, and also I'm trying to get this Ed Logg video done, But I've actually purchased several books that have interviews with him, because he hasn't done a bunch of video interviews. So I've what was going to just be maybe like a quick interview has turned out to be like a much deeper career retrospective. That's another thing I keep doing, is getting in over my head. I need to list a bunch of shit on eBay. A merch display. I need to fix up the merch display for my band. We need a new tip sign. We have a little thing you can tip us. You know, we have like all our Venmo, Cash App, blah, blah, blah for the band. I want to make a timeline of our record. So one thing we thought might be fun to do as a band is do a video where we show all the cost and process breakdowns of what it took to make this final record. I think that'd be interesting for me to see. Hopefully other artists can benefit from that. I have to continue building my Plex server. It's going really good. I've gotten all my like music and stuff. I don't use Spotify. I don't pay for Netflix. I don't do any of that shit. I buy a lot of music. I pirate a lot. I have pirated a lot. And I have a little server set up so I can access that anywhere, stream my media. And I got to continue finishing that because I have a hard drive full of media that I'm trying to get onto the Plex server. And I've been running out of space on my hard drives. I don't want to buy more because, again, I'm broke as hell. I need to do the Hidden Machine update video. Well, that's happening right now. Bioremediation, we need to do the cover. I want to tighten up all my passwords and accounts. Every 6 months or so, I try to make sure, you know, you want to like check out a site and sometimes it's like, oh, you have to like sign up to use this. I go, okay, whatever. Or sometimes like I'm like buying like a record and it's like hellomerch.com, log in. And I'm like, well, I do want to log in. I do want to get a account with these merch sites because I've had situations where like I needed to check my order history to confirm, go like, oh, this thing didn't show up and I don't have the fucking receipt, but it's stored in my account info. But then every 6 months or so, I try to go in, I delete any of those accounts I don't want anymore, or I make sure I'm like not keeping the same passwords all the time. I have to check up on Lurkit, which is a website that connects content creators and publishers. I agreed to cover a game. I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to miss the deadline. Let's check. Lurkit. I think I'm missing the deadline on this because I've been so busy and I shouldn't have agreed to do it, but it's not that big of a deal to me. Okay, I have 2 days. We'll see. We'll see. The game that I agreed to possibly cover was Outcast: A New Beginning.
Outcast: A New Beginning. And we've just wasted 3 of those on an introduction. Let's crack on. Many offer a grim, dark perspective on the future, but Outcast is different. It shows us a bright, invigorating open world full of breathtaking possibilities. You take control of Cutter Slade, a wry, capable ex-Navy SEAL who finds himself resurrected by all-powerful beings known as Yods. He awakens to find the world of a fauna, dangerous creatures,
this looks bad,
civilizations, and captivating and endlessly customizable. Beginning comes to
It doesn't look very good. So basically the consequence would be like, if I asked for more games on Lurkit and I didn't do this thing, if I said, oh yeah, I'll cover the game, then I don't, they'll be like, well, you're out of here. But also, I kind of am like overdoing game reviews on a deadline, and which I have been for 2 years. But every now and then I go, oh, maybe I'll try. I should stop doing that because I hate doing it. That's why I did my big South Park review, which got taken down, but it's back up now. It's just not monetized, which sucks because I do need some money. That video was getting some decent views. Anyway, GOG is giving me an exclusive discount on the Thief series. I have all the Thief games. They're all brilliant. Well, mostly. Mostly. Some are less good. Anyway, so this is still kind of rambling and still kind of disjointed, but not nearly as bad as the other ones were. Jeff Keighley just emailed me, co-stream Summer Game Fest live this Friday. I already signed up and no one got back to me. Maybe I'll be co-streaming the thing on Friday. We'll see. All right. Anyway. That's kind of where things are at. So I'm making this video on the second channel because it is kind of a thing that I'm finishing my morning coffee. I'm covered in cat hair. I haven't showered. I have the shades closed behind me because it's so backlit. I'm blown out right here. I'd like some sunlight in here, but I'm just doing this sloppy style. Just to say, hey, thanks for the continued support over on Patreon. And, you know, stuff is going to be moving forward with the channel, and I'm excited to start sharing some more game dev stuff. I've not gotten to a point where I feel comfortable sharing. Quite, you know, feeling quite protective right now, but I will. I'm excited to take some of you along on that journey. And beyond that, you know, there is a ton of other Hidden Machine stuff coming, like Hidden Machine videos that are in the works. Jordan and I have been doing a very long thing on Alan Wake Revisited. It's we're doing another yeah, I played on the first game, which we did. It was one of the first videos we did together on the channel, but we're revisiting it years later with new perspective. Jordan's fucking house burned down. We haven't hung out in a while. But he'll be moving in next door, I think this month, very soon. So we will be working together again soon. And maybe he'll come over on Friday and stream the show with me. Who knows? You know. A lot going on. There's only so many hours in a day, you know? So many things I want to accomplish. And, you know, some channels go months without an upload. I can't do that. I'd like to. I think. Yeah, that'd be nice. Maybe I just don't think about the channel. It feels rude. So, videos will continue to come. It's just a matter of, like, you know, I gotta stop doing all this music stuff. I'm actually so sick of doing music. I'll still be making music as a hobby on the side, but, like, the reason why I need to finish all these musical projects first, you know, I think I started saying this earlier. I'm not sure if I cut myself off or if I finished the thought. They're collaborative projects, and so I'm beholden to another person because they put their effort in. I need to put my effort in. I can't leave it hanging if I brought someone else in. And there's been a few times where I have brought someone else in and I fucked up on my end, and that feels bad, and I don't like doing that, you know? I'm sure everyone's gone through something like that where you let someone down. It doesn't feel good. It's not nice to do. So as much as I want to go, can I just make my games? Not yet, because I said, let's make an album. And then, you know, not that I didn't know I was signing up for 5 years of fucking hard labor, you know? But it's good. It's all good. So be sure to, if you haven't yet, check out Austin the In-Laws. We'll be putting up some great videos shot with this very camera that will look much nicer because they're going to be outside in the sun. And they're going to have really nice audio. And it's, you know, it's country. A lot of people don't like country. They go, you know, it's the kind of country you might like. It's not whack. I hope. All right. I think that's it. There's probably so many more things I could share. Next time, my cats are shedding so much. When I move my hands, cat hair's flying everywhere. I need to brush the cats today. I brushed them last week. I feel like I could brush Sluggo especially every day. And it would not get any less. Fur. Anywhere. Fur coming out. You know what I'm trying to say? There'd be no less fur coming off of him if I brushed him every day. Any other cat people out there know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Next time I make an update video, I'll actually make some notes ahead of time. How's that? All right. Bye.